Hi, Mr. Unkert here, and welcome to my series on learning Algebra 1 with Python. Okay, to get started, we have a couple prerequisites. First off, you need to have taken pre-algebra. And the second one is we need something to write Python in. There are multiple IDEs and text editors that you can write Python in. I think the easiest one to get set up on most computers that are modern is VS Code. So I'm going to just Google VS Code, and we'll see that right here, the first link, we get Visual Studio Code, code editing redefined. Now you can install VS Code on Windows, Mac, Linux, or in my case, I'm running a Chromebook with Linux, and it's a low-end Chromebook, but it still runs fine. I have another computer, but I want to do this series on my Chromebook, which is a thing that anyone could buy for less than $200. Okay, and so we're just going to download this .dev file, because for Chromebooks we have with the beta Linux, it installs Debian 10, which is Buster Debian. So we want to use that file. So we've downloaded that. I'm going to go to my files, and we're going to go to downloads, and I'm going to right click on it and click install with Linux. And once this turns blue, I'm going to click install. Now this may take a couple minutes to do that. So we're already at 50%, but it will take a little while to get it going, and then it should install. So we're at 70%. I can close this out, click OK. And actually, I think I can close this out. So it's installing. Okay, we're at 94%. We are almost there. Come on, let's go. Let's get our VS Code running. Woo! 6% more. Sometimes right near the end, it's the hardest. You're about to get to the finish line. 97%. We're almost there. And keep in mind, I'm running Screencastify in the background on this as well. So that is taking some RAM. I have Chrome open. So that is taking a little bit. So now we've gotten through 100%, and it's going to take a moment and be fully installed. And now it is. It says installation complete. Very good. Okay. Let's go down here and let's take a look and click on VS Code. Now I have it so my shelf drops. I can say always show shelf, which is the default. Now I want to also right click on this and just pin it, because we're going to be using this a lot to learn our Algebra 1 and our Python. All right, so I am now going to, we can read this more. We can click that out. First thing we can do is choose a theme. I think I'm actually going to go against the grain here a little bit and choose the light theme. Okay, and that's a little bright, but it does look good on the Python. I can dim it down a little bit if I want, but I was using the bright theme or the light theme, and I do kind of like it. You can choose the dark, or you can choose a high contrast. There's other ones. There are some very good default ones. The actual dark default VS Code one's great. There is a Monokai and a Monokai dimmed one that are very good. There's Abyss, which is a very dark one. So have fun with it. And plus, there's tons of free themes that you can find for VS Code. So you can go down the rabbit hole in that one. All right, next part, it's going to say rich support. So we're checking off that we choose our luck. We're going to do rich support for all languages. So we're going to click on that. And what we can do is browse our language extensions. And there is only one that I'm going to really add, and that's going to be this one for Python from Microsoft. I'm going to click install. That's going to take a minute or two to install, but that's going to be helpful. Okay. So we're going to wait till it installs. And to install extensions, you go down to this icon here and you can search through all kinds of things. You don't have to have recommended languages. You can search through, you can get different themes that way. You can get all kinds of different extensions. You'll see there's a C++ one. There's one for Jupyter Notebooks. There's one for C#, Java, HTML, CSS, Go, a whole bunch of stuff. We keep scrolling down. We have Dart, nice. ES7, React Redux, Ruby, Rust. Okay, so there's all kinds of extensions that you can install in VS Code to help you out with whatever language you are working with. And if you want to uninstall the extension, which you may, if you're running a lower end computer, you may want to uninstall extensions you're not using. So anyways, we've got it installed now. I'm going to close this out. Okay. And let's go down to this. To close this out, I can either click here to close it, or I can do Control B to close and open it. Now, typically we'd be looking at our folders here. This is for Git, and we have some other ones here, but we'd be looking at our folders. And so we're going to do that in a minute. But let's click on this next one. One shortcut. Okay, so open the command palette. That's Control-Shift-P. Okay, so I could do something like toggle menu bar. Click that. And oh, look at that. That clears up some room for me. And I could just Control-Shift-B, toggle menu bar to get that back at a later part. Cool. All right, so remember that, Control-Shift-P. And then let's open up our code. Let's get to it. All right, so we're going to pick a folder. Let's see. I'm going to go into projects. I think I created a folder, called it Algebra 1 Python. And I was working on a little video. We're gonna work on one program in this introductory video. We're gonna say yes, I trust the authors, because this is something that we created. And we're gonna open this up, and I'm gonna expand this out here. Now there are some things I can do. I can get the look of this. I can not display the status bar if I want. I can hide this if I want. I can toggle the menu bar back if I want. One thing I am gonna do right now to help you guys out is hit Control comma, and that's going to bring up the settings. And in the settings, what I'm going to do is change the font size. I'm going to make it nice and big for this first program. I'm going to make it 35. So you can really see it. So we'll close that out. And now we're going to create, I'm actually going to just get rid of this. I'll delete that. So I'm going to move that to the trash. And we'll create a new one called Hello World. I was just getting ready for the video earlier. So I'm going to type helloworld.py. It has to have the .py extension at the end. Okay. And once I create that .py, you'll notice you have this little triangle appear up here. We're going to use that to run our code, okay? And we're going to run it in a little terminal that's going to pop up on the bottom. Now we're going to do one simple program to conclude this video. I'm going to close this out. Let's do something else. We're going to do one simple program, and it's going to be just to print hello world. And to do that, all we type is print, and then hello world. Maybe put an exclamation point. To save it, it's like any of the other modern text editors you have. You're just going to hit Control S to save. And then to run it, we're going to go up here and just click on this to run it. And it's going to pop up here in a terminal. You'll see that it prints out Hello World. So we've run our first program in Python. Thanks for watching. And if you enjoy videos like this, please hit the like button for notifications, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. That's what I'm trying to get out there. And thanks for watching, and have a great day. And now comes the awkward point where I turn off Screencastify and smile.